India has decided to take China on in its own game and in its own backyard. New Delhi has decided to boost its strategic footprint in the South China Sea by offering co-production of advanced Indian defense weapon systems with Manila. After the successful integration of Indian BrahMos missiles in the Philippines, now India has offered its Pinaka rocket artillery system along with Akash air defense shield, as well as advanced torpedoes to neutralize the threat of any Chinese submarines lurking nearby. Earlier, India had also offered its indigenous LCA Tejas fighter jet. For years, China has been threatening India's national defense by arming a bankrupt Pakistan with fighter jets, AIP-powered submarines, as well as air defense systems. Now, in a tit-for-tat move, Indian weapons could soon be staring down Chinese naval assets from across the South China Sea. Manila too has been a victim of Chinese aggression, with PLA Navy using water cannons and even knives and axes to attack and intimidate the Philippine Navy. And while US or NATO weapon systems could prove to be too expensive for Manila, India offers a cost-effective option with a robust supply chain. Now, in the face of this Chinese aggression, India and the Philippines held the 5th Joint Defense Cooperation Committee or JDCC meeting in Manila in September 2024, but interesting details have now just emerged, revealing India's proposals to the Philippines. The meeting was attended by Indian Defense Secretary Giridhar Armane and Philippine Senior Under-Secretary for Defense Irino Cruz Espino. On the agenda were talks on defense co-production, regional security, and strategic collaboration based on shared concerns over the expansionist ambitions of the People's Republic of China or PRC, which threatens the current free and open Indo-Pacific as well as maritime trade worth billions of dollars which passes through the West Philippine Sea region. According to the Indian Ministry of Defense, the Philippines' ongoing military modernization efforts complement India's self-reliance in defense doctrine, and hence co-production of military systems would be mutually beneficial. India went on to invite Manila to, quote, partner with the Indian defense industry in co-development and co-production of defense equipment, unquote. For the Philippines, India can offer a secure supply chain, free from Chinese intimidation tactics, and the island nation has expressed interest in long-term equity partnerships with Indian defense firms. The Indian BrahMos missiles are a great example, which have been inducted successfully by the Philippines for coastal defense against any Chinese misadventure. Philippines has deployed the BrahMos missiles just 250 kilometers away from Scarborough Shoal, a resource-rich disputed region which Manila claims, but which is encircled and blockaded by Chinese Navy almost every day. After the initial $375 million deal, India has now proposed joint development of future variants of the ship-killer BrahMos missile, tailored to the needs of the Philippine Navy, potentially with longer ranges or ship-launched capabilities. Deployed to deter potential PLA aggression in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, along with Sabina Shoal, Second Thomas Shoal, and even the Luzon Strait, which runs between the Philippines and self-governed Taiwan, the Indian BrahMos missile could be a game-changer for the entire region in deterring China from igniting a conflict. According to internal simulations conducted by the Indian Army, a salvo of just 3 BrahMos missiles can sink even the biggest Chinese aircraft carrier. Apart from BrahMos, India has also offered co-production of its homegrown Akash air defense system. Made by India's DRDO or Defense Research and Development Organization, this missile can operate in a completely autonomous mode while engaging in multiple targets simultaneously. In fact, DRDO claims the Akash missile defense is the first system in the world capable of engaging 4 aerial targets simultaneously at 25 kilometers range. With an operational range of 30 kilometers to 35 kilometers and altitudes up to 18,000 meters, the Akash can destroy maneuverable targets like unmanned aerial vehicles or drones, along with fighter jets. It can also intercept cruise missiles as well as missiles launched from helicopters. Even Brazil is said to be interested in the Indian Akash surface-to-air missile defense system. Third, the Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launcher is a versatile artillery platform developed by the DRDO which could be adapted to the Philippines' terrain and operational requirements. According to reports, it could include development of guided rocket variants for increased precision. The Pinaka can fire a salvo of 12 rockets in just 44 seconds up to 38 kilometers, while the NK-1 version under development will have a range of 300 kilometers. Fourth, the Light Combat Aircraft or LCA Tejas is a cost-effective option for the Philippines and can be used to modernize Manila's Air Force and potentially establish a domestic aerospace industry. The 4+ generation LCA Tejas Mk1 fighter jet highlights India's growing technological prowess in the aerospace sector. The Tejas fighter jet has an active electronically scanned array radar or AESA radar. It is also armed with Beyond Visual Range or BVR missiles, modern electronic warfare suite, and air-to-air refueling capabilities. Fifth, India has also offered its advanced torpedo systems to the Philippines to guard against Chinese Navy, which is building the world's largest submarine fleet. Sixth, armored combat vehicles and infantry fighting vehicles can be tailored to fit the diverse terrain of the Philippines, in turn bolstering its ground forces. The collaborative approach provides the Philippines access to advanced defense technologies and at the same time fosters its ambition of self-reliance in defense. Just like China has been arming Pakistan with no regard for Indian security concerns, now New Delhi has made a similar offer to the Philippines to counter Beijing. India-Philippines deepening military partnership comes at the same time as relations between the Philippines and China have hit an all-time low over the last few years. Tensions are escalating in the South China Sea, where the frequency of confrontations between China and the Philippines have reached a tipping point. Meanwhile, Chinese military has been repeatedly simulating an attack on Taiwan. Any miscalculation can spark a larger conflict as China continues to ignore legitimate maritime rights of most ASEAN nations, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Brunei, and Indonesia. In such a scenario, is India right in boosting the Philippines' defense capabilities against China? Leave a comment with your opinion and subscribe to InConnect News for more defense updates and geopolitics.